All right, but first, so we're bringing y'all a special stream that we got over the phone interview from Sharitha Golden, aka Miss Knight, and just something to put out for y'all. Y'all can take a listen to. I know we got a lot of new subscribers that probably haven't heard from her or heard this particular segment, and we wanted to put it out for y'all. Y'all take a listen to it. Hope y'all enjoy it.
How did the Tupac thing come about? Obviously, he gets bailed out by Suge. He's on death row. What is the first conversation or the first meeting between you and Tupac, and how does that go?
I met Tupac it was late one night. Suge asked me to come to the studio for something, and I don't know. And he brought Tupac out, and we met each other. And the next time I saw Tupac, Suge brought him to my house for dinner, and he was admiring my house a lot. And he was like, "Well, wow, who did this for you?" Because apparently they had bought Tupac the house, and they got the store that I used for my furnishing. They got the store, the owner, to put random crap in Tupac's house. So when he saw my house and everything was kind of coordinatedly decorated perfectly, he was impressed with it. And he said, "Well, what decorator you use?" I said, "I didn't. I did my own." And at this time, I had done Snoop's house as well. So he was like, "Well, can you come look at my house and tell me what you think?" So me and Tupac started seeing each other when I come to his house and talking, and we just conversed well. Tupac is very, very business oriented. If I had to pick a client I like more to deal with, it would have been Tupac.
Okay. And how was Tupac's, from your vantage point, how was Tupac's mindset when he was on death row? Would you say he was happy? Would you say he was unhappy? Because, there's obviously mixed,
I know.
depending on who you ask, you get different stories.
And my heart hurt so bad when I heard all the mixed stories about Tupac and what he supposedly had felt about Suge. And Suge gravitates to artists very well. He clings to one artist and he molds one artist and he keeps them next to him to establish a relationship. Well, I like to talk to these people because I want to make sure, because when Suge decided that he was going to do this record company or even manage, because the conversation started off and he decided to manage. I said, "I'm down with you and I'll help you with everything, but you got to make a promise to me. You will never lie, cheat, or steal from any artist." And he says, "Oh no, I'm down." I said, "Okay, I'm just letting you know, because I'm going to check you if I find out that you're doing other than what we promised." And so I always had a conversation with each and every artist to make sure he was keeping his word. And so I had to naturally talk to Tupac. And the first thing I said, "Well, are you happy?" And Tupac was ecstatic being on death row. He says, I know he called him Simon. Everybody called him Simon. I didn't call him Simon, but everybody called Suge Simon. So he was like, yeah, I know who I'm dealing with. I know who Simon's about. And I was in prison. The only person came and talked to me was Simon, and he the only one told the truth. He was going to get me out of here. And sure enough, he got me out of here, and I owe him. I said, "Okay, you sure?" I said, "What did he promise you?" He says, "Everything he promised me, he gave it to you." I said, "When it stopped, you let me know. If it ever stopped, you let me know." "Hey, I'm going to let you know, but me and Simon are cool, and I really want to take Simon to another level." And I said, "Well, what you want to do?" And he talked to me about the movie industry. He wanted to bring Suge in on the movie industry side. And I was like, "Well, that would be a good, thing for you guys to do." So as far as I know, and I probably was one of the last people who talked to Tupac on a personal level about what was going on in his life and how was him and Suge's relationship. Because remind you, I was at his house practically every day to every other day doing his house.
Okay.
So next thing I know, they all went to Vegas. I didn't go to Vegas.
Right.
So they all left and they went to Vegas, and now he's gone. I wasn't even finished with his house.
And when you had that last conversation with him about how he was that right before they went to Vegas, like in that same September, or was that maybe August? Okay.
It was whatever. He died, September something?
Yeah.
So it would have been in September. It was just about finished. I had to put the little final touches, like the curtains up or the blinds up, and I had these special African mats made for him with his name on them, Tupac. And I never got to deliver them, so when they were delivered to my house, that's what I had, these mats that said Tupac.
Oh, I
so
see.
yes, I would say I was one of the last people to talk to him, and talking to him at that time, Tupac was very happy to be on death row. He didn't allude that he was ever leaving death row.
Okay, because that was going to be my main question was, obviously you being his manager, now on one end you are close with Suge, but on the other end you are his manager.
Wait a minute, I wasn't Tupac manager, but I did some stuff for Tupac.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
No,
Suge was his manager,
Tupac.
Correct?
I was not Dre manager either. I did a lot of stuff for Dre.
Okay.
I did everything for when the people wanted concert dates and they wanted to. I was the intermediator for them doing concerts.
Okay. And you set up the concert that Tupac and Caution and the Dog Pound did when they went to New Orleans and Ohio, correct?
Yes, sir. I set up all those any concert dates that Tupac done. I was privy to set that up for him.
Okay. Weren't there plans after those two shows to do more, and then they were canceled, or what was the plan for that? Because I believe it was billed as like an Eazy-E tribute concert series. Is that correct?
I don't recall that. I don't recall that it was an Eazy-E tribute, but maybe Dre stated something like that, but it was so long ago, I don't remember. And I do believe there was more concert dates in the future because we did do some concert dates. Me, Dre, and Snoop did some concert dates after Dre left. When Dre was planning on, when Dre was planning on leaving Death Row, it was I think we went to Japan. Yeah, we went to Japan. So yes, there was definitely future concert dates out there that we were all going to do together.
Okay. Did you set up the House of Blues on July 4th concert of everybody?
House of Blues. Honestly, I can't remember. I cannot.
That was the one that they put the DVD out on, where it had it.
I don't like making comments on something I don't remember, so I can't go there.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. At what point during these death row days do you and Suge separate personally, but keep that professional relationship?
Suge and I separated during the death row times. Definitely we were separated, but nobody knew we were separated because Suge would say, "Oh, I'll see you at home tonight," and I would look at him and people would think we were still married. And we had an agreement that certain things wouldn't happen. We would keep professional, and we were not to let anybody know we wasn't married still. Well, we were married, but we was living separately. So very few knew we were separated.
Okay. And then at what point does the divorce actually happen? Was that way later after he went to prison?
Suge and I, yes, he was in prison when we got a divorce. Our divorce was final February 25th, 1999.
Now, let me ask you this. When you guys get divorced, you have the option to go after half of his publishing and to go after half of the label if you wanted to.
If I wanted.
But you didn't do that, correct?
Nope, did not do that. I did not go after what I was entitled to, let me say that.
Right.
Law states we did not have a prenup. Suge didn't have nothing. Suge was a regular guy when I got married to Suge. So whatever we had, we got together as husband and wife. So I had all rights to own half of Death Row and to take it right along with me. And I didn't do that. I didn't need to do that. I just wanted out. It just got a little bit, the women.
Right.
It was the women.
Right.
I just couldn't, I'm like, we agreed to something. You didn't keep that. When he started bringing the women around, it got to be, okay, now you want to embarrass me, but you want to pretend like we're together still, but yet you have all these women, and they were calling me and saying they were pregnant. It was just too much for me at that time. And I was like, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this. So I didn't fight Suge over half of anything. I got out. So when I hear that I tried to kill Tupac and Suge to get death row, well, I didn't have to do anything to get death row. I had death row.
Okay. And you could have taken half of it if you wanted to. So the theory that you were with Suge for money.
And that would have been the best choice of his life. Me having taken death row and everything I should have taken, that would have been the best thing that ever happened to Suge, because I would have took the masters along with me.
Yeah.
Because I knew somewhere down the line there was probably a chance that he was going to lose all of that.